How to size your furniture can be difficult and a little tricky to manage. The last thing we want is to choose an item that's too big, not proportioned, doesn't fit our needs, or simply doesn't look right in our space. But what's the approach that guarantees we pick the right size? If you're watching this video, you probably have an interest in design or improving your space for the better. So let's take a designer's approach to this. Let's discuss the main concept that helps us size our furniture correctly, but also helps us become better designers in any field where we create. We'll go over 3 theories to help us utilize this concept in our designs. This is scale. In the context of design, scale refers to the size of elements in relation to one another and the overall composition. Relative scale means that the size of an element is not considered in isolation, but rather in relation to other elements within the design. For example, a large object in a design might appear dominant if it is surrounded by smaller objects, but it could appear more balanced if placed with other large elements. Designers use scale to create visual hierarchy, emphasis, and contrast. This manipulation of scale helps in organizing the visual information, and it conveys the intended message effectively. For instance, movies use scale models for practical effects. However, all elements within that scale model have to be a certain size, or something will look visually incorrect. Understanding and effectively using relative scale is crucial for your own space. It creates relationships with the objects in your space, and if you're trying to figure out how big your couch should be, think about things like context. What type of space do you have? Dorm, studio, bedroom, home? Well, maybe not in this economy. But each type of living space is a specific context for you to size your furniture to. The human body serves as a natural reference for designers because it is what we are most familiar with and experience the world through. Designers frequently use the human body as a reference point or a standard for determining the appropriate size and proportion of elements within a design. This concept is known as human-centered design, or human scale. When elements in a design are proportioned according to the human body, it can create a sense of familiarity, comfort, and usability for users or viewers. Here are a few ways that scale relates to the human body and design. Ergonomics. In product design and industrial design, the scale of an object is often based on human ergonomic principles. Products such as chairs, tables, computer keyboards, and car interiors are designed to fit the human's body's dimensions and movements comfortably. Architects often consider human scale when designing buildings and spaces. They take into account the average height of people, the dimensions of doorways and windows, and the flow of human movement through a space to create environments that are functional and comfortable for the occupants. In digital design, designers consider the scale of elements like buttons, icons, and text to ensure that they are easily clickable, readable, and accessible for users interacting with devices like smartphones and tablets. By considering the human body and scale, we can apply this to the furniture we choose. Choosing a couch that's personal to us means choosing a couch that fits our needs and our body's unique composition. Proportion is a fundamental principle of design that holds immense importance when designing your space. It refers to the size relationships between various elements within a composition and how they relate to each other and the overall space. Proper proportion enhances the functionality of a space by ensuring that furniture, fixtures, and other elements serve their intended purpose effectively. Here are 2 examples where we see the implementation of proportion in everyday life. The Parthenon is an example of classical Greek architecture known for its exceptional use of proportion. This ancient temple follows the principles of the golden ratio and exhibits near-perfect proportions in its columns, pediments, and overall design. The balance and harmony of its architectural elements have made it an enduring symbol of proportions in architecture. The designs of Apple products, particularly under the leadership of Johnny Ive, are often cited as examples of excellent proportion and minimalist aesthetics. From iPhones to MacBooks, Apple's emphasis on clean lines, balanced proportions, and attention to detail has set a standard for modern product design. Proportion plays a significant role in designing your space. It influences the visual harmony, balance, functionality, and overall aesthetics, allowing you to create an inviting and well-designed environment. When we consider relative scale, human scale, and proportion, it gives us direction when we want to design our own space. Incorporating these design considerations empowers us to craft a well-balanced and harmonious space that not only meets our functional needs, but also resonates with us visually and emotionally. So I hope you learned a thing or 2 about scale and you apply it into the next thing you design. But if you're still struggling to choose a couch, here are 3 concepts to help you size your couch correctly for your space. Thanks for watching.